You didn't find this video by accident. This was not a random click, not a coincidence, not something that just happened to appear in front of you while scrolling through countless other options. This was divine direction. I, the Lord your God, orchestrated this moment. I led you here because what I am about to speak into your life cannot wait another second. Do not treat this as just another message passing through your day. Something shifted when you clicked. Something moved in the realm you cannot see. Heaven took notice of your willingness to hear my voice again, even after disappointment, even after delays, even after prayers that felt unanswered. Before you scroll away, before you let doubt whisper that this isn't really for you. Stop. Just by clicking on this message, just by being willing to pause and listen right now, you have already activated something in the spiritual realm. Angels received assignment the moment you press play. What has been blocked from reaching you is beginning to shift. Click like on this video right now. Not as a ritual, not as superstition, but as a public declaration that you recognize me as the author of your story. When you press that button, you are doing something more than engaging with content. You are making a statement in the spiritual realm. You are silencing accusations that have been spoken against your name. You are opening doors that have been jammed shut by forces working against you. I need your full attention now because what I am releasing to you today is not generic. It carries your name on it. There is a blessing, a breakthrough, a miracle that was custom designed specifically for your life, your situation, your need. It has been prepared, it has been waiting, not because I forgot about you, not because your prayers didn't reach me, but because timing matters. There were things in you that needed to mature before you could carry what I am bringing. There were people who needed to be moved out of your path because they would have sabotaged what was coming. There were lessons you needed to learn so that when blessing arrived, you would know how to steward it without losing yourself in it. That alignment is complete now. The waiting is over. You have been carrying something heavy, and I need you to know I see the weight of it. I see where you are emotionally right now, even when no one around you fully understands it. I know the thoughts you didn't explain to anyone today because explaining felt too exhausting, or because you knew they wouldn't truly get it. I know the smile you wore while your heart felt tired underneath it, the brave face you maintained while inwardly wondering how much longer you could keep pretending everything was fine. I know the questions you asked in private, the ones you were afraid to speak out loud because voicing them felt like admitting defeat. I know the fears you wouldn't say out loud, the doubts that crept in during quiet hours, the disappointment you tried to push down because you thought you had to stay strong for others. You have worked hard, but results have been slow. You have given your best, but recognition didn't come. You have loved sincerely, but that love wasn't returned the way you hoped it would be. You have prayed faithfully, but answers seemed to delay month after month. You have believed with everything in you, but circumstances didn't shift the way you expected them to. You have felt tired, not just physically tired, but soul tired. Tired of trying to figure everything out on your own. Tired of wondering what you did wrong, what mistake you made that caused this blockage. Tired of watching others receive breakthrough after breakthrough while your situation stayed the same. Tired of putting on a strong face when inwardly you wanted to break down and ask why everything felt so hard for you when it seemed easy for everyone else. You have been wondering if I still see you. You have been asking yourself if your prayers are even reaching heaven or if they are just disappearing into empty space. You have questioned whether you somehow missed your moment, whether there was a door you should have walked through but didn't recognize at the time. Whether this is just how your life is supposed to be while others move forward with ease. Let me stop you right there and speak truth that needs to settle deep into your spirit. I saw every single tear. Not just the ones that fell publicly, but the ones you wiped away quickly before anyone noticed. Not just the tears from obvious pain, but the ones that came from hidden disappointment, from silent grief, from wounds no one knew you were carrying. I heard every whispered prayer. The ones you prayed with confidence and the ones you could barely finish because emotion choked your voice. I counted every sleepless night, the ones where worry kept you awake, the ones where pain revisited old wounds, the ones where you wrestled with decisions, unsure which path to take. I was there in all of them. Nothing you carried alone was truly alone, because I was present in every moment you thought you were by yourself. You have prayed with trembling faiths, not the confident kind that preachers talk about, but the desperate kind that comes from a heart that doesn't know what else to do except turn to me. You have cried prayers you could barely finish because emotion overwhelmed the words before they could fully form. You have spoken my name through disappointment so deep it felt like a weight on your chest, through exhaustion that made even praying feel like work. Some of your prayers were spoken in darkness, literally and figuratively. In the dark of night when everyone else was sleeping, and you were still awake wrestling with thoughts that wouldn't quiet. Some prayers came while lying awake, staring at the ceiling, trying to make sense of things that didn't make sense. Some were only a few broken words, fragments of thoughts that couldn't organize themselves into proper prayers, but were prayers nonetheless. My child, not one of those prayers disappeared. Not one got lost somewhere between earth and heaven. Every single prayer reached me with full clarity because I don't just hear words, I hear hearts. And your heart has been speaking to me even when your mouth couldn't find the right words. Not one tear fell unnoticed. I understood what your tears were saying when words failed. I knew which tears came from betrayal, from the shock of discovering that someone you trusted had been working against you. I knew which tears came from rejection, from feeling unseen and unvalued by people whose opinions mattered to you. I knew which tears came from exhaustion, not just physical tiredness, but the soul weariness that comes from carrying heavy things for too long without relief. I knew which tears came from loneliness, from feeling isolated even in a crowded room. I knew which tears came from disappointment you couldn't explain to anyone else because the depth of your hope made the fall even harder. I heard the prayer before you finished speaking it because your heart is never hidden from me. You have noticed patterns, and those patterns have confused you. Doors that should have opened based on your qualifications, your preparation, your readiness, they stayed shut. Opportunities that seemed perfectly aligned with your gifts, they slipped away at the last moment. Relationships that should have brought peace, they brought confusion instead. Have you wondered why? Have you asked yourself what you did wrong? What sin you committed that would cause this kind of blockage? Have you compared your life to others and asked why their prayers seem to get answered on the first try while yours go unanswered for months or years? Let me tell you what has been happening in the realm you cannot see. There are accusations in the spiritual world that have been trying to block your harvest. Real accusations spoken by a real enemy who knows exactly what you carry and what you were created to accomplish. He knows the blessing attached to your name. He knows the anointing that rests on your life. He knows the inheritance designed for your bloodline. There is resistance operating in realms beyond what your eyes can measure. There is envy, bindings, family openings, doors that were opened generations ago by those who came before you. These openings created patterns, cycles that repeat, struggles that feel strangely familiar because your parents faced them, your grandparents faced them, and now you are facing them. That is why you have felt like you work but never see full results. That is why doors jammed shut even when you did everything right. That is why relationships became unnecessarily complicated when they should have been simple. Spiritual interference has been real. But hear me now, and hear me clearly. I am breaking it. I myself am untying every binding that held back your blessing. Not an angel, not a prophet. I myself, the Lord your God, am putting my hands on every cord that was tied around your life. Your finances, your relationships, your health, your destiny, and I am untying them, one by one. What the enemy thought he secured against you is being dismantled by my own hand. I myself am silencing every accusation spoken against your name in the spiritual realm. Every lie told about your character. Every false charge brought against your integrity. I am silencing them all. I myself am removing obstacles you didn't even know were there. Hidden hindrances working beneath the surface. I am removing all of it. Your name carries history. There are patterns woven into your family line. Some of those patterns were established by choices made long before you were born. Those patterns created pathways for certain things to flow through your bloodline generation after generation. You didn't create these patterns, but you have felt their effects. But I am intervening now. I am cleaning your lineage. I am going back through your family tree and cutting off access points the enemy has been using for generations. I am breaking cycles that have lasted too long. I am closing doors that should never have been opened. Doors that gave legal access to spirits of poverty, infirmity, dysfunction. This is not just for you. This is for everyone who comes after you. When I break a generational curse, I don't just free you. I free your children, your grandchildren, and every generation that will come from your seed. You are not just getting your breakthrough. You are becoming the breakthrough for everyone connected to you. Write 1111 in the comments right now if you are ready to activate this with all your faith. Those numbers represent divine alignment, doors opening in perfect timing, heaven and earth coming into agreement over what belongs to you. When you write 1111, you are declaring that what was blocked will now flow. What was delayed will now be released. Now hear what I am releasing to you. I am not speaking in vague promises. I am speaking with authority over your life right now. I am releasing angels with assignments that carry your name written on spiritual documents. Angels with specific orders, detailed instructions, clear missions regarding your life. They are being dispatched now to locations you will go, to conversations you will have, to opportunities that are about to open. I am reactivating promises you thought were buried under years of disappointment. Promises I whispered to your spirit in moments when faith was strong. Those were not fantasies. Those were previews of what I was building, and they are being reactivated right now. I am rebuilding areas the enemy destroyed while you were unaware. Relationships that were damaged, I am rebuilding. Trust that was broken. I am restoring. Confidence that was shaken. I am re-establishing what was torn down is being reconstructed. I am releasing blessings that were held back by spiritual interference. Blessings that should have reached you months ago, years ago. Those blessings didn't evaporate. They have been accumulating and they are being released now all at once. I am releasing financial provision that has been blocked at the source. Money that should have reached you through opportunities that fell through at the last minute, through promotions that went to others less qualified, through business deals that dissolved right when they should have closed. That provision is being rerouted to you now. Doors that were closed by human gatekeepers are being opened by my hand, and no human can close what I open. Within the next few weeks, you will see movement in your finances that you haven't seen before. Not gradual improvement over time, sudden shift. What felt stuck for months or years will suddenly break loose. What seemed impossible based on your current circumstances will become possible through divine intervention that has nothing to do with your awesome or your connections. Opportunities you stopped hoping for will suddenly reappear, but this time with less resistance and more favor. What you had to fight for in previous seasons, you will receive with ease in this one, not because the opportunities changed, but because my hand is removing the resistance that was blocking them before. I am restoring relationships that were damaged by misunderstanding, by time and distance, by words spoken in hurt that created walls between hearts that were meant to be connected, relationships with family members where tension has existed for too long, relationships with friends where closeness turned cold, and you don't even remember exactly when or why it happened. Hearts that grew cold toward you will warm again. Not because you begged or convinced them, but because I am touching them in ways you cannot. Conversations will start happening that you stopped believing were possible. Apologies will be offered that you thought would never come. Understanding will develop where there was only judgment before. Silence that felt permanent is going to break. Phones will ring with names you haven't seen in months or years. Messages will come from people who walked away, and you will know in your spirit that this reconnection is divinely orchestrated, not coincidence. I am releasing favor in places where you have faced resistance from people who had the power to help but chose not to. From systems that seem designed to work against you rather than for you. That resistance is being broken. Voices that criticized are going to quiet. Not because you silence them, but because my favor on your life will become too obvious to deny. Minds that doubted you are going to shift their perspective. People who wrote you off are going to regret underestimating you. Doors that were closed by human opinion are being opened by divine authority. And what I open, no human can close, no matter how much influence they think they have. Even those who envied you, who smiled to your face while working against you behind the scenes. Even they will not be able to deny what I am doing in your life. I am healing areas inside you that you thought would stay broken forever. Emotional wounds you have carried quietly for years. Disappointments you learned to live with. Fears that have whispered lies to you in moments when you were alone. I am touching those places now with healing that goes deeper than what any person could provide. What was once confusion will become clarity. What was once anxiety will become rest. What was once grief will transform into joy that is strong enough to coexist with the memory of pain. You will remember this season not as the time you almost gave up, but as the turning point where everything shifted. Where they once said you were dreaming too big, they will say you were hearing from God. Where they once doubted your calling, they will recognize the anointing on your life. Where they once questioned your path, they will see the fruit of your obedience. In the next 12 hours, you will begin noticing signs, small shifts in your spirit, thoughts that bring sudden clarity, ideas that drop into your mind seemingly from nowhere, but that carry the weight of divine instruction. Unexpected messages may come. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. These are confirmations that what I spoke is already manifesting. Before the end of this month, something you have been praying about for a long time will move. It may not look exactly the way you envisioned it, but you will recognize my hand in it. You will know without anyone having to tell you that this is divine intervention. I need you to understand something. I saw when betrayal wounded you deeper than you let anyone know. I saw when rejection made you question your worth. I saw when exhaustion made you wonder if continuing was worth the cost. I counted every tear that fell in private. Do you remember when you whispered prayers with no strength left? Do you remember when you asked if I still heard you? Do you remember nights when you wanted to give up? but something inside you refused to let go completely. That was me holding you when you thought you were holding on by yourself. I have not forgotten one promise I whispered to your spirit. Not one dream I planted in your heart. Those were not imagination. Those were previews of what I am building. And delays were not denials. What I promise I fulfill. But I fulfill it in my timing, when you are ready to receive it without it destroying you. Sometimes I hold back blessing not to punish you, but to protect you. Sometimes I delay answers, not because I don't care, but because I am aligning pieces you cannot see yet. The waiting was not wasted. It was shaping you into someone who can carry what is coming. You are about to enter a season where you will need discernment more than ever. Not everyone can walk with you where you are going. I am giving you spiritual sensitivity to recognize who belongs in this next chapter and who does not. You will feel it in your spirit when someone's energy doesn't align anymore. Keep your heart pure as blessing increases. Do not let provision make you forget the source. Do not let favor make you proud. Everything you receive is grace. When the blessing comes, do not hoard it. Be a channel, not a reservoir. Let what flows to you also flow through you. If this word has touched your soul, plant faith right now, like this video. Write in the comments, I received the miracle that carries my name. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Now, let me address something many avoid. Giving is not manipulation. My love for you is not conditional on your wallet, but giving is a spiritual principle woven into how my kingdom operates. When you give, you are planting seeds for a future harvest, not just for yourself, but for your children, your grandchildren, the generations that will come after you. Go to the pinned comment at the top of this video. There you will see a place to sow a seed of blessing, not into my pocket, but into the soil of your own future. When you give there, you are planting for yourself, for your loved ones, for the generations connected to your bloodline. Your seed is a statement of faith. Give what feels right in your spirit. Give with joy, not obligation. And when you give, know this: you are sowing for the ones you love. Your children will eat from trees you planted. Your family will walk through doors, your faith opened. Your seed today is their harvest tomorrow. This is not about making anyone rich. This is about making you free. Free from the grip of lack, free from the fear of not having enough. Generosity breaks chains. Giving with faith opens floodgates. But hear me clearly. If you cannot give financially right now, that is okay. Write your declaration of faith in the comments instead. I receive the miracle with my name on it. Words are seeds. Faith spoken aloud activates heaven just as powerfully as money sown in faith. You have permission to rest now. You have been carrying this for too long. Put it down. I am taking over from here. What you see shifting in the next few days is not coincidence. What you feel changing in your spirit is not imagination. This is me responding to every tear you cried, every prayer you whispered, every moment you refused to give up. I am not far away watching your struggle. I am here, close, moving personally in your life. You matter to me, your pain matters to me, your prayers matter to me, and I am answering not because you earned it, but because I love you and because I keep my promises. The blessing is not coming someday. It is moving now. Heaven has already released what belongs to you. Timing is aligning. Obstacles are being removed. Doors are beginning to open. And you will see it, not just hear about it. You will see it with your own eyes and know beyond doubt that God was faithful. Write Amen if you believe this word. Share this message if it gave you hope. May the peace of knowing you are not forgotten settle deep in your heart tonight. You are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and your breakthrough is closer than you think. I, the Lord your God, have spoken, and what I have spoken will not return void. It is done.